One of the cornerstones of President Obama's plans for economic restructuring is the creation of billions of tax dollars in incentives for companies that develop alternate fuels and cars that run on alternate fuel. But do these policies actually cost more than they're worth? Our next guests don't think so. Joining us now, Gary Bauer of Securing America's Future Energy and Kevin Smith, CEO of SolarReserve. Gentlemen, good to see you. Gary, because I've known you for years, I'll go to you first. I feel like saying, what's a nice guy, nice free marketeer like you doing at a place like this? How can a free market guy like you believe in government intervention like this?
Well, David, when I heard your description, I started reevaluating my position here.
Good, good. I'm here to talk you out of it. Go ahead.
Well, look, we all know the problem we've got. The United States and our allies are dependent on foreign oil. The oil comes from countries that, in many cases, have a lot of people in them that hate us, want bad things to happen to us. The hit on our economy from this foreign dependence in 2008, the estimate was it was a $500 billion hit. If you look at 2010 and our balance of payments, our trade deficit, the hit there was $260 billion. So you've got this economic problem. You've got a national security problem. We're putting a lot of young Americans in harm's way, safeguarding these choke points around the world that oil has to pass through.
Okay,
so,
Gary, I got to move you along because we don't have much time. But all that, even if all that is true, what makes you think government will make the right decisions? They rarely do.
Right. Well, look, governments, what we're recommending is a very small government involvement. It's $3 billion over 5 years to set up deployment communities around the country. Cities, this is a very conservative idea. Local communities would compete for this money. If they had a plan to get the bureaucracy out of the way in their community to allow things to be put into place that would accommodate electric vehicles, those local communities would get a temporary federal grant to do that. We believe if that happens, the natural marketplace will take over.
All right, but
and people
Gary,
will find
already
these cars
people have had a chance to vote with their feet or with their wallet anyway. The Nissan Leaf, the sales for the Nissan Leaf in January were 87. That's for the entire United States. That's an electric car, of course. In February, it actually went down to 67. The GM Volt had 321 in January, 281 in February. Those numbers are down. And those numbers, by the way, for the Volt may be inflated because of hanky-panky with dealers trading amongst themselves.
Sure, but David, look, you know that there's other options out there that are doing very well. Hybrid vehicles, the Prius and so forth, that combine gasoline with electricity, et cetera. This is a way. Look, if the consumer doesn't buy it ultimately, deployment communities or nothing else will matter.
Okay, let me go to Kevin.
This will give us a chance for a fair shot at it.
Kevin, I'm sorry I shortchanged you on time here, but how you've received hundreds of millions in subsidies from the government. If your business is so good, why don't the private entrepreneurs, there are plenty of venture capitalists in Silicon Valley, why don't they put the money in instead of taxpayers?
Well, for one, the government grant program that you're referring to, this is actually a loan guarantee program. So it's a loan.
Okay.
We fully pay for the costs. It's fully paid back by the project. SolarReserve is funded by private equity. We put $140 million into this technology. We now have a large-scale facility. We're going to start construction. Debt markets are tough right now. Federal government can step in, provide some debt into the project. We're going to put in a couple $100 million of equity into that project. We're going to provide jobs. Our project alone is about 4,000 or 5,000 jobs on site and off site, and it takes a technology that's U.S. developed. We can export it around the world. We're competing with international companies that have strongly funded home markets, and we're struggling here in the U.S. So this is a great opportunity. The Department of Energy Loan Guarantee Program, like I said, it's a loan guarantee, so it's paid back over the life of the project.
If you're successful, it will be. I mean, you haven't paid back that $750 million yet, have you?
Well, we've got a 25-year term contract with the utility in Nevada. So 100% of the electricity is going to be sold for 25 years. We competed head-to-head against probably 20 or 30 other companies to win that contract with NV Energy.
No, there was full competition. We want to emphasize that for that particular contract. There was full competition. You guys won in that competition. But again, Gary Bauer, do you think that's where our money should be going? Don't you think that the private sector could do a better job of allocating the capital?
Sure. Look, I can't defend the solar industry and what subsidies they do or don't get, but I do know on the piece of this that I'm involved in, $3 billion in order to save American lives abroad and also to save billions upon billions of dollars in our defense budget. I think it's a great conservative approach. And I would cite one other thing, David.
Quickly.
Two of the key men in this are P.X. Kelly, Commandant of the Marine Corps, 28th Commandant, and Fred Smith, the CEO and president of Federal Express.
Another former Marine.
Free market
just
guys.
to jump in there real quick.
Yeah,
just
quickly.
to jump in there real quick. You know, the federal government is supporting all kinds of energy industries, and that's been pretty much the
And
rule
they've
for
been
the
making
last 30 or
terrible
40 years.
mistakes in all kinds of energy industries.
But right now,
Look at
but
ethanol.
Right now,
it's awful.
Well, right now in 2011, oil and natural gas and coal are getting subsidies from the federal government. That's been going on for 30 or 40 years. So the renewable energy industry actually gets a fraction of the subsidies that have been provided.
Guys,
out to,
I got to have you back
to oil and
because we
natural
are a
gas.
minute over time already, and there is a
Okay.
lot more to talk about this, but we appreciate you coming on. We will have you back on for another part of this debate. Gary Bauer, Kevin Smith,
to be with
wonderful
you.
to see you both. Have a
Thank you very
fantastic
much.
weekend. Thanks very much.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks.